Good evening.
Very easily could have
Welcome.
Yeah,
My name is Tim Cho. I'm Assistant Superintendent, and this is my opportunity each month to have a very small program where we recognize a few students at the board meeting. Ms. Jones, I had to remind her earlier what a few was, but she interpreted that as a few groups of students. And so, this is a great opportunity for us to recognize some of our students, and it's a great opportunity to refocus the board meeting often on what really matters, which is the great work that happens each and every day in our schools, between our students and our staff. And so this is a great opportunity to recognize them. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, normally we do it in the library where the board meeting is taking place, but because of the number of students tonight, we wanted to have a venue that could hold everyone comfortably. So when this portion of the program is over, what we're going to ask you to do is make sure that you allow your students to stay around. We want to get some photos of them that we can post on the district website and to our live feed and social media. And then once that's finished, if you would like to rejoin the board meeting, it's going to convene about 10 minutes later in the library. You're more than welcome to stay, but I know oftentimes people, kids, they want to get home, they've got other things to do at night, but just to let you know, you are more than welcome to reconvene with the board 10 minutes after this program concludes in the library. But with that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mr. McCarthy from Glendora Elementary School, and he is going to recognize the Glendora Star.
Does everyone hear me?
Yes.
I'm going to go without the microphone. It's much easier for me. I'd like to thank the Board of Education for having Glendora out here this evening to be recognized. I would like to wish everyone a happy holiday and a happy new year. If at this time I could have Ms. Kelly and our star students come down, and we'll introduce them once they get down here. So one of the things that we've been trying to do at Glendora over the past few years is to educate the kids beyond just classroom matters. We want to teach them that there is a sense of responsibility in being a good citizen. And during the year, each grade level takes a different charity which they focus upon. And we have, 5th grade has done the local animal shelter. We've had other grade levels do shop and do collections for them. Our 4th grade this year did a collection for the veterans during the month of November. And we have 3 students here with us. One couldn't make it today. Unfortunately, they weren't in school. They're away. So we're going to recognize those students real quick. But I want you to understand the time and dedication that these kids gave to this charity. So to my left, I have Miss Kelly, 4th grade teacher. She was our teacher of the year last year, so I'd like to acknowledge her for that. She's the other 4th grade teacher who worked together with Miss Kelly to supervise the students. With us today we have Camilla Byers, Eric Ekstrom, and Michelle Tariq. Not able to be here tonight is Mason Trainer. Unfortunately, as I said, he did go away, so he couldn't be here this evening. These students gave extra time. They created posters to put up around the hallways of the school to inspire everyone to bring donations for the veterans. They donated their time during their recess. Instead of going outside and having that little blow-off steam period, they took the time to put the bags and the baskets together for the veterans to make sure that they got them. That's the selflessness of these kids. And that's the great things that we're doing in Glendora is there's more than just the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. We got to educate our kids to be good, upstanding citizens. And here tonight, we have 3 of the 4, but the entire 4th grade class did a great job with it. But we only could choose a few. So we chose the ones that went above and beyond. So I'd like to congratulate Carmela, Eric, Ishal, and Mason. Once again, congratulations.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. My name is Keisha Jones. I'm the principal here, proud principal of Glen Landing Middle School. And I want to thank Mr. Bilodeau and the board for allowing me to recognize all of the teams that were just champions this season. We also have Keely Sabadell. Is Keely here? Keely Sabadell? Not here. So we'll recognize her later. She also won the Christmas card contest, the holiday card contest. So we are definitely in high spirits here. This is typically a competitive contest, the winter holiday contest. So I wanted to acknowledge Keely, but she's not here tonight. But we have 3 teams full of student athletes to acknowledge. To maintain eligibility as a student athlete the entire season, these students have to be committed to their team, their grades, and their character. So well done to all 3 teams, and at this time I'm going to have the coaches come up and tell you a little bit about their teams and the hard work that they put in to win all these trophies. Yeah!
All right, my name is Miss Lauren Kennedy. I coach the cross-country team along with Joseph DiGiacomo. And we just are both proud of this team. We wanted to say congratulations on a successful season. The boys ended their regular season with a record of 13-2, while the girls ended their season with a record of 14-1. Were invited to several invitational meets this year where the athletes competed and earned medals for placing in the top 20. At both invitationals, the team had more than half of its athletes bring home medals and crush their best times. This year, Glen Landing won the Gloucester Township Championship, bringing home both trophies that you see in front of us. A special recognition for the girls team because they placed second overall in all of Camden County. And they also placed second overall in the Tri-County meet, which was Gloucester County, Camden County, and I believe the other one, maybe Salem County, I think it was. So the Tri-County, they placed second overall. So congratulations to each of you. I am going to call their names. When I call your names, please take a step forward. Madden, Gianna, Leah, Katie, Dominic, Sam, Nick, Talia, Alana, Sebastian, Travis, Caleb, Vinny, Adriana, Aiden, Henry, Owen, Hunter, Haley, Michael, Connor, Brennan, Brandon, Danny, Ava, Alana, Michael, Matthew, Anna, Maddie, Connor, Angelina, Aiden Rothman, Ryan, Alexia, Julian, Abiel, Max, Jacob, Damiano, Lexi, Kyle, CJ, and Emily. Please give them a round of applause. All right, next I'd like to introduce the field hockey coaches. So that's Miss Foster and Miss Francis.
Good evening. These are our champions of field hockey for this year. So we went to our championship game on October 28th and we defeated them 3-2 in a tough win. And that is what gave us that award. So I wanted to praise all of our ladies for being so awesome. So they truly deserve it. And I think we could not have had a better year. Our 8th grade, step forward as I introduce you. Natalie and Brooke. Allison Morris. Allison Morris is our awesome bowler. These ladies, this is our last year. They are our 8th graders. All right, 7th grade, Savannah Connolly. And Taylor Charles. And then another round of applause for our champions. Casey.
All right, good evening. My name is Ms. Clark. I'm the girls soccer coach, Ms. Stacy, our assistant. So this year, the girls soccer team ended the season with an 11-1-1 record. Our one loss of the season was to Voorhees. If you know soccer, you know that they always have a very good team. They all play travel soccer together. Very skilled, physical. So we lost to them 2-1 at their field during the regular season, and we avenged that loss in the championship game on their field. Let's go! There's nothing like beating a Voorhees soccer team. So that was, obviously a great game. This team in general, although we had a ton of talent, I do have to say, this group of 8th graders right here was a phenomenal, great student athletes, and just great leaders. So give them a round of applause. Good job, ladies.
right, the other thing I wanted to add was that none of these teams would be here unless they were coachable. And for that, we have to thank all of you and the audience. So kids, all teams, give your parents and families a round of applause. Because if you didn't send them to us coachable, we wouldn't be here tonight. The other thing I have to brag about with our soccer team, raise your hand if you're on the honor roll or principals list. So they take their student athlete very seriously. So for that, we thank them.
All right, now for the eighth graders, we have Francesca, who is our goalie. Karina, Benjamin, Rick, Katie Marcus, Alana, Aubrey, Kelly, Elise, Emma, and Gianna. For our seventh graders, we have Kira, Emily, Caroline, Olivia, Katie, and Katie. Fiona, Colleen, and Juliana. And our sixth graders, Erin, Alexi, Sarah, Alexa, Lily, and Macy. Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations, cross country and field hockey. And ball hockey too. They won. All right, good job, ladies. Come on back. Thank you.
Thank you again, mom, dad, my moms, pop, nonas. I see you all out here. Thank you again for coming out to recognize the shining star from Glenmore and from Glenland. We really appreciate you coming out to support our students. And again, this is no easy feat, so we really are proud of you. And in my Glenlandian chant, we are proud of you. 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 Very proud of them. So be proud. Enjoy your night. Happy holidays to everyone. Mr. Tony, you want to close us out?
Again, great recognition tonight. Really appreciate everyone coming out. Reminder, we're going to take a short recess. We're going to take some photos with the students. And then if you would like to rejoin us in the library for the regular board meeting, you're more than welcome to attend there. If not, and you're going to take off right after the photos are taken, make sure that you also grab some refreshments back there. But if not, have a great evening and a great holiday season. Thank you.
Skalnick.
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons. Here. Mrs. Gulch.
Here.
Ms. Gore.
Here.
Mrs. Johnson.
Here.
Mrs. O'Donnell.
Yes.
Ms. Dentino.
Here.
Mr. Marks.
Here. We're going to move on to approval of minutes. May I have a motion and a second for executive session minutes,
So moved.
November 18th, 2024.
So moved.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Galnick.
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons.
Yes.
Mrs. Gulch.
Yes.
Ms. Gore.
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell.
Abstain.
Ms. Dentino. Yes.
Abstain.
Mr. Marks.
Yes. May I have a motion and second for regular board minutes, November 18th, 2024?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Galnick.
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons.
Yes.
Mrs. Gulch.
Yes.
Ms. Gore.
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell.
Abstain.
Ms. Dentino.
Abstain.
Mr. Marks.
Yes. We'll move on to 4.3, public comments for agenda items only. I see none. We're going to move on to report of solicitor.
Thank you, Mr. Marks. My items were discussed in executive session, but I would be remiss in not acknowledging two people up here who their final meetings for now, because Mrs. Gilch has a way of coming back to us after we say goodbye the first time. But Linda, I just want to say that I don't think anyone has volunteered more of themselves or given more of themselves or cared more than you. So I just want to thank you for your friendship over the years, and this board's truly going to miss you. And Mr. Marks, we've really gotten to know each other the past 2 years as you served as president. And unless you have served as president, I think it's impossible to know everything that goes into being the president of the Board of Education, and all the work that you've done to unify people, bring people together, get past differences, and keep the district going forward in a positive direction. You've done an amazing job as president and as a board member for the last 6 years, and we're going to miss you. So thank you for everything. That's
Thank you very much.
all I have.
Thank you. Report of superintendent, Mr. Vildo.
Mr. Marks, good evening, members of the board. Under tonight's discussion items, there are two. The first will be presented by our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Tro. It is on the topic of student chronic absenteeism. And Mr. Tro.
Thank you, Mr. Bilodeau. Thank you, board. It's always my pleasure to make presentations for you. I know you look forward to them. One of the highlights of your month when you see me on the agenda. I see that sarcastic look. I will try to move fairly quickly through this, but this is part of our policy and state regulations that we discuss some of these matters tonight. So just to talk a little bit about what is chronic absenteeism, federal and state guidelines define chronic absenteeism as being absent 10% or more of the days enrolled that a student is enrolled in the district. So it is a floating number somewhat for students who are enrolled for the entire year. That's 18 school days. So any student missing 18 school days or more is considered chronically absent by the federal government and the state of New Jersey. So just to give you an idea where we were in 2019, of course, that Mendoza line pre-pandemic, the district average was about 7% of our students were chronically absent. That was a little bit below the state average of 9% of the students across the state that were chronically absent. Fast forward to 2024, our district average was 12.7 of our students being chronically absent, still somewhat, not quite as much below the state average of 14. If you've kicked around some of the national numbers, they're talking as high as 25% of students nationwide. So we have a problem here, but it is a little bit lower than the state and also much lower than national averages, but an issue nonetheless. And so from state accountability and statute, the district is measured against state averages for the purposes of state and federal accountability under ESEA or ESSA, and we meet that measure as a because I think we see that we're below state average, but state statute and board policy.
Staff, please keep this Jones in the main office. Custodial staff to the main office.
Feels like it's like 10 a.m. or something like that. But state statute and board policy require corrective action plans to be developed for each school with a percentage higher than 10%. So even though most of our schools met the SEA average, we do need to write corrective action plans for being above 10%. And that was 8 of our 11 schools. So basically all of them except our 2 smallest schools, Glendora, Gloucester Township, actually our 3 smallest schools, and Union Valley Elementary School. The rest of our schools had to create corrective action plans. So part of what the state recommends is that we do a parent survey. We did that. We had about 2,000, which was somewhat similar to what we got when we did surveys during COVID, and we're asking parents what they thought. So we had almost 2,000 respond. And some of our administrative takeaways in reviewing the results really showed a need for us to clarify and what regular attendance was, defining it, and also defining when students should be kept home. Frequently, particularly the comments section, many parents responding and reflecting to kind of that idea, well, if this child's sick, shouldn't they stay home? Which we're not disagreeing with, but I think some of what we need to do, and we'll talk a moment about that later, is just defining what is sick enough to stay home. And that's a bit of when we talk to our nursing staff, something that we have some work to do. So What were some of the results of the survey? Specifically, regular school attendance is important to you and your children. You saw that we did have overwhelmingly parents agreed with the statement that regular school attendance is important, but you do see that it's about 82% that strongly agreed, and we do have about 20%, and you'll kind of see that number flow throughout, that disagreed less. About 6% of our parents disagreed or strongly disagreed with the importance of regular school attendance. And then one of the other questions we asked was how many days absent people considered excessive. I gave you the definition a little bit earlier, 18 over the course of a full school year. And you see that about 20% of our parents and guardians who responded basically thought it would take 20 or more to be considered excessive. And so there's a little bit of a discrepancy there between what parents think versus what the actual law is. So we're going to spend a little bit of time trying to make sure that's clear to everyone. We asked if they understood that that's what the state definition was of 10% or more of the days that they were enrolled, or 18 days. And over 40% of the parents had no idea that that's how the state measured chronic absenteeism. Again, showing a little bit of the need to explain to people what the definitions are. And then, is there someone in the school that I can talk to if I'm experiencing a challenge that makes it difficult to get my children to school every day? And again, most parents agreed with that, but we can see we still had a little over 20% that felt like they didn't really have anyone that they could talk to if they were having issues with regular attendance for their children. So that is something our administration and our counselors are looking into to make sure that parents understand who they can talk to, and also just doing some climate building activities between students and their families. And then just to summarize, basically some of the themes between the corrective action plans the schools put together. Better and more regular communication between administration and the guidance staff. So some of them we're looking particularly from policy perspective. As students are getting up there, there's court that gets involved and action plans that need to be developed with students. And a lot of the teams felt like sometimes because of volume and other reasons, there would be some disconnect between what guidance and administration, and some clarity there. So they're working to make sure that they're meeting more regularly specifically to talk about student attendance. Early intervention and those individual plans for students. Most of our schools that are involved with this are now sitting down with students individually to make sure that they're having clear plans between them and their parents. And then again, that communicating and partnering with parents on the value. Saw that some of our parents didn't necessarily see regular attendance as an important issue. We're going to explain to them why that is more regularly. We're going to define it for them. We're going to also try to make sure it's clear to them when a child is too sick to come to school. We've got some things planned to go out early in January related to that from our nursing staff. And then positive incentives, so to make sure that it isn't just, sometimes the policy focuses a lot on court and, taking people to court and all of those sorts of things. And just a lot of our buildings have initiatives going where they are trying to incentivize students for coming to school and recognize regular school attendance. And then, of course, building safe and trusting relationships between students and a school staff member, making sure that a student has at least one person they feel comfortable talking with and who's touching base with them regularly, specifically relates to school attendance, and also developing that relationship with their families. That is my speed talk through that, and to give you a little bit of overview where we are. And we're looking forward to trying to communicate better with our families and trying to bring that number down further. We made slight progress each year since COVID, but still not where we want it to be, and we hope to be there soon. So any questions?
Yeah. It says almost 2,000 responded. Is that, did a survey go out for each student or family?
So it was sent to all of the contacts that we would have.
Okay.
But then each family usually just responds once
Right.
To the survey.
Do you think that?
So it would represent more than 2,000 students, I believe, yes.
Right, okay. Yeah, so obviously then it's.
So it's about a third, or a little bit over a third of our students and families responded.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board comments?
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Earl. If anybody in the public has any questions, we'll do that during the second public comment. Grant, something all right?
Yes, the second item under 6.1 discussion items, under B. We have our Supervisor of Student Sports Services, Mr. Hildebrandt. 2 times a year, he has to present on the student safety data system. So, Mr. Hildebrandt, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Bildo. Thank you, everybody. Twice a year at a school board meeting, the district must present the student safety data system report, specifically all incidents of violence, vandalism, alcohol, and drug that occurred in our schools. I thought it was in the agenda. It's not. I'm going to get handouts to everybody that's here. You will see there are different types of incidents that fall under these categories and a breakdown of these incidents by school that occur between January 1st and June 30th. This information has already been uploaded to the Department of Education. If anybody has any questions or concerns, my information is on there. And then next year, I'm going to be reporting on the September to December data system or report. There was something that has been going around that is discussing where some of our middle schools have been getting an absorbent number of police calls. And I think it is reflecting off of this report. I just want to say that it's not true of what we're seeing out there. And I want to read the definition of what it says and when we report this, of what we are supposed to be reporting and how. So when it comes to a police report or any police involvement in dealing with these, an action by which a student is reported to any law enforcement agency or official, including a school police unit, so that's our SROs in each of our buildings, for an incident that occurs on school grounds, regardless of whether official action is taken. So as long as we are making these SROs aware that we have a situation, we are document that as police notification. So these aren't police calls, it's just police notification. Citations, tickets, court referrals, and school-related arrests are also considered reports to law enforcement. So I just want to put that rumor to rest that I think they are taking the data from this report, and people are saying that this is police constantly being called to these schools, and that is inaccurate. So, thank you.
So if we added more this year, will those numbers then potentially go up?
For
More SROs we added, if every contact that they have, if the students have.
No, it shouldn't be. It's really what happens is if there's an issue that falls under these categories, when the SRO walks in the building, they meet with the principal and they basically say, this is what would happen when you were here or were not here.
Understood.
It would be easier to do it, but what it should.
Right, it doesn't increase the number in theory.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
okay.
Any other questions? Thank you, Grant.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the balance of the superintendent's report, like a consent resolution for items 6.2A through 6.6M.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Galnick.
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. 6.6E, the travel. There was something that for Tampa that they said there was no district funds that were going to be used for that. Is that just for the registration? Is there also travel that's associated with it, or it's all paid out of the state?
Good evening, Mr. Gibbons.
Good evening.
6.6E, the professional development, there are 3 staff members that requested to go to an event that is in Tampa, Florida. We have to be mindful of several different things when it comes to the state of New Jersey. There are rules for everything, including a rule not to pierce $5,000. So to the credit of the staff listed there tonight, they spoke, and I think that they're going to all stay together to defray some of the costs because they all did want to go and experience this. Mr. Tro did send a note to the board about being kind of highlighted and a lot of different school districts are being told to come and see Gloucester Township, what they're doing for our preschool program.
Yeah.
When it comes to funding, which was your question, the preschool funds are a unique special school aid. So it's not coming out of the local budget to send the 3 staff members to what I think is valuable, because I think they're going to be able to come back and in turn cross-train a lot of the other preschool and make our program even better than it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing as well. I just wanted to clarify that. It's
Yep, it's not from the
state
budget.
was also recommending that we
Coming out of
do this.
preschool aid. So
Right, okay. All right, I just want to clarify that. Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Galnick.
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons.
Yes.
Mrs. Gilch,
Yes.
Ms. Gore,
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson,
I am going to abstain on staff ID numbers 2080, 1968, 5572, 1408, 6208, 4556, and 2037. Yes, on the balance.
noted. Ms. O'Donnell,
I am abstaining on 6.6M employee numbers as well. 0593, 2273, 2963, 3396, 3705, 3746, 5009, 5996. Yes, on the balance.
noted. Ms. Dentino,
Yes.
Mr. Marks,
Yes. 7.0 report to the business administrator.
yes, happy holidays to everyone, by the way. Asking for a consent agenda approval of items 7.1 through 7.7D.
May I have a motion, a second, please?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Galnick,
Yes.
Mr. Givens,
I'm a no on check 135461. Check 135585, and yes on the balance.
noted. Mrs. Gilch,
Yes.
Ms. Gore,
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson,
Abstain on check number 135648, 135543, 135468, and no on check number 135632.
noted. Ms. O'Donnell,
Yes.
Ms. Dentino,
Yes.
Mr. Marks,
Yes. Old business, Mr. Bildo.
Mr. Marks, members of the board, members of the public, good evening. Welcome to Glen Landing. I wanted to just bring up, last month, there was quite a bit of discussion about CPAG and Department of Special Services and meetings for parents. I did indicate that there was a meeting scheduled for December 9th. But because of the discussion that happened at Charles Lewis School a month ago, I did feel compelled to meet with Dr. Martin and different administrators and speak exactly to the issue of CPAG here in Gloucester Township. It was initially agreed that Dr. Martin would expand the itinerary for December, I think it was December 10th, excuse me. And but Dr. Martin did go a little bit further after that meeting and was able to secure through the state of New Jersey Ellen Woodcock, who is a representative for this state organization. And there is now a meeting planned for parents and anyone that wants to attend. It's scheduled for January 9th of 2025 at it says 7 p.m., but I think Dr. Martin, is that now going to be 6:30, Dr. Martin? 6:30 to 8:30, that's a hard 8:30 out? Yes, thank you, Dr. Martin. It's going to be in the library at Lewis still? Okay, and I just wanted to, and that's going to be devoted only to CPAG that evening, Dr. Martin? Okay, you have anything else to add while I'm doing my presentation about it? I'm kidding.
Dr. Martin, can you come up here for us? We're having a hard time hearing you.
where did you say this was taking place?
Lewis Library.
Lewis Library.
Just to answer your question more specifically, we did secure support from the CPAC organization, which is the state of New Jersey. We want to structure the program in accordance with their regulations and guidelines only. And we also partnered with Camden County Family Support Organization, which did a presentation on December 9th to about 65 families. And our goal is to partner with them and to allow them to facilitate a wholesome parent relationship as a CPAC so they can operate as a fully capable functioning organization in accordance with the state guidelines. I think there's miscommunication about what CPAC actually is. But it is an independent organization with bylaws, regulations, mission statements, goals, officers, etc. And that's a district's position that we will be moving in that direction. And during you'll see ongoing support from both the state and the county. So we did have a meeting right after the holidays in preparation for. And I will ask that Ms. Johnson attend as a board member representative.
Sure.
Dr. Martin, the meeting that you have scheduled for CPAC in January, do you have that posted on the district's website? Okay, very good.
It is on the website for 7 o'clock. It's been on it,
Okay,
but we're going to switch it to fall in the timelines of 6:30 to 8:30.
and do you plan on sending a communication out to our parents? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Martin.
you. You done old business?
I'm done.
New business, Mr. Bildo?
I guess, my last bit of new business, I'll take this opportunity to, again, wish, 2 board members, nothing but the best. I know that, Mrs. Gilch had an opportunity to come back and serve the community again, this district again, and I don't quite know how many years it has been, but, thank you for your support and what you do for the kids in this community. Mr. Marks, I appreciate you as well and your candidness, and very much appreciate the directness which some of our individual phone calls go. I do think it is always for the best and for the district and the community. So I wish you and Linda nothing but the best in the new year and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this point, we're going to move on to public comments.
Yep.
Any public comment? Mr. Galgo.
Mark Allen, 14 Trent Road, Gulf Springs. All too often, the board, the administration of Gloucester Township.
Mark, why don't you just step up to the mic if you don't mind?
Sure.
Thanks.
So all too often, you don't get enough praise for the work that you do as a board, and certainly Mrs. Gilch and Mr. Marks. Thank you for everything you've done. I've sat where you sat, so I know what it takes and how much time you give up out of your personal life, and it's a lot. So to the board, to the administration, to special ed department, to the teachers, again, you don't get enough praise for the work that you do. Unfortunately, we only hear the bad, we never hear the good. My experience, and I can only talk about my own personal experience with 3 children going through this district has been nothing but fantastic. And I do have a special needs child where I've gotten all the supports that I could have wanted, and the teachers have been nothing but fantastic. And some of them are in this room. So, thank you for that. Thank you, Ms. Gilch and Mr. Marks, for your service to this district. And the only other thing I will leave with is that Gloucester Township, this district is, I don't know if it's still the largest K-8 in the state, but once it was. If it's not, it's pretty close. So the amount of moving parts and the things that are offered and the special ed services that, again, I've gotten
and I work in the field, so I see other districts. It's at the top of the list in the state of New Jersey. So you're doing a fantastic job. I just wanted you to know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gale. Any other comments? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Danielle Clark and I'm a teacher here at Gloucester, at Glen Landing. And this is year 27 for me. So there's something I don't want to read first. Teachers are natural philanthropists. We give our time, we give our heart, we give our advice, we give our money. Students need supplies, we buy them. Students want to read the newest book in the series, we buy it. Students forget their lunch money and we give it to them. We give and we give and we give until oftentimes there's nothing left in the tank. And even then, we dig down deep and we find some more to give. In the season of giving, we as teachers come together every year here to make the dreams and the wishes of our students come true. For the past 25 years, Glen Landing has provided our financially needed students with gifts for the holidays. This could not happen without the time and money that our teachers donate to this worthy cause. No matter what has been going on economically for our teachers, we have never not been able to make these wishes come true for our students. As educators, we have always put the needs of our students first, even if that meant our own students, our own kids, received one less gift under the tree. As a product of Gloucester Township Schools, the Giving Tree has always held a special place in my heart. As a student, I attended Gloucester Township, Blackwood, C.W. Lewis, and then Highland High School. I had friends whose families were struggling to make ends meet. And without community outreach programs like the Giving Tree, these children would have had no gifts to open on Christmas morning, and their parents would have been left to explain to them why their house was skipped this year. When I became a teacher at Glen Landing, the Giving Tree was focused on coats, hats, gloves, and holiday food baskets. Since 2008, I have been organizing this program. The Giving Tree identifies students right here in our own building. Phone calls are then made home, and it's a hard call. And the students fill out need forms along with 3 wishes of their own. I then take that information and I build a spreadsheet, giving family student numbers so that everything remains anonymous. Staff members then signed up to purchase, wrap, and submit their gifts. Tonight, I stayed to organize and I'm still not done. We organize for parent pickup, which starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. We also send home a stocking with each family that has novelty items, traditional stocking items, but also necessities like deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, and some of the things that we take for granted each and every day. Our administration here has been nothing but fantastic throughout the years. And we have always had a $5 jeans day to raise the money to help purchase the gifts that remain untaken and to purchase the stocking items. However, this year, a request for this jeans day was denied, and I was shocked to say the least. Then I was left to beg. I couldn't go back to the staff who had already done so much. I basically was left to call our home and school, who stepped up with open arms. And then staff members handing me 20s as I left the building on Friday. I spent the whole weekend shopping and another 13 gifts extra from my own family and my friend group an hour away from here. The hypocrisy is that $5 jeans day somehow are accepted when it's a cause under administration that seems that they deem worthy. I would like to know who is going to let families know that they didn't make our cut for worthiness this year. As we all know, being a teacher today is so much more than just teaching. We are mentors, parents, counselors. You're crippling our ability to be the people that we want to be for the neediest members of our community. At Glen Landing, just last week, we were asked at our last faculty meeting to reflect upon our core values as educators. Ms. Jones asked us, what do we want our former students to say at our retirement? What do we want them to say at their 25th class reunion? I know what I want my students to remember about their time here at Glen Landing, but I'm asking, What do you want them to wonder about?
Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Any other comments?
Dorothy Hope DeLeo, former employee of Gloucester Township Schools. I was an employee for 37 years. I was terminated this year on November 6th by Mr. Bilodeau. Mr. Bilodeau, I would like to know, have you ever terminated another employee in your tenure as superintendent with Gloucester Township Schools?
Mrs. DeLeo, we're not discussing any personnel matters. You can make whatever comments you'd like, but we're not going to litigate a personnel matter out here.
That's a question, Dan.
We do not discuss other personnel matters and we do not answer those kinds of questions out here. You can make your comment, you have every right to, but he's not going to answer that question.
I can't ask because.
You can ask the question, but he's not going to answer. And we're not going to answer.
Sure he's not going to answer? Okay. I applied for unemployment with the New Jersey Department of Labor and the Workforce Development in Trenton. I got a notice of determination. You are hereby notified that based upon the facts obtained and in accordance with the New Jersey Unemployment Compensation Law, it was determined that you were eligible for benefits from 11/10/24. You indicated when filing your claim that you were discharged from your employer. No evidence has been provided to demonstrate any willful or deliberate misconduct. Your actions do not constitute a willful and deliberate disregard of the standards of behavior your employer had a right to expect. Therefore, your discharge was not for misconduct connected with the work. You are eligible for benefits. It's pretty damn sad that I have to go to unemployment and they're going to give me $350 a week and I make more than that. That's pretty damn sad. You had no right to terminate me. You know it. Everyone else knows it. I did absolutely nothing wrong. Never in 37 years did I think I was going out this way. It will come down. There will be an end result, and this won't be it. There will be an end result. This won't be it. 37 years of dedicated service, and you think you have the right to terminate me? It's not going to happen. I mean, it is happening, but there will be an end result for you and the board because I did not deserve this. That's why I got this letter from Trenton. I didn't deserve this. You know, you can sit up there, think that you're God, you, Mercado back there, and probably two others that are in this room. I don't need to mention their names. The four of you were up here. Everyone else is down here. And every time we try to get up, you knock us down. You're a narcissist. Mercado's a narcissist.
No, Mrs. DeLeo, we do not take personal shots like narcissists. You can complain all you want, but we don't name call up here.
Mr. Layer, your time's up. Thank you.
I know that.
Anybody else have any comments? Yes.
One more
Mr.
time,
Henry, it's yours.
as a member of the phone club.
Don't be shy. Don't get shy.
You're gonna be up here in 3 weeks.
Hi, Dean Andrew Summerdale. I had somebody text me a question that couldn't attend the meeting that happened today. So they want to know, why is the director of special ed services and the supervisor of special services found it acceptable to refuse to provide reasonable accommodations for children, along with being a disabled parent, to make their IEP meetings accessible, which I don't know, I just read it. But I also had a comment about the meeting that took place on December 10th. It was really great to have a meeting with special services and parents, but there wasn't a clear outline of why we were meeting. It was just the meeting. So many people thought that it was an IEP meeting to go over what an IEP is and, you know, what their rights are. It wasn't outlined, right? It was also great to have two board members attend the meeting, so therefore they could see. From my understanding, there is also a special services committee. And from my understanding, none of those members attended that meeting, which is a little disheartening. But going forward, what is really SPEG and what is the purpose of it? From my understanding, it was state mandated and district led, and now we're just getting it started. Why is it now that we're getting it started where it wasn't previously?
I can answer two of those questions.
Go for it.
All right, number one, the question that you read is something that we,
Yes.
yeah, I know, and I know you're just putting it on the
Yes.
record. And with respect to the question about the members who attended, we have to be careful because whenever we have 5 of us together, and you'll be one of those 9, that would constitute the 5 in a couple weeks. If we have a quorum of the board, then it becomes a board meeting where district matters are discussed.
Okay.
So that's kind of part of it. And the other part is, scheduling things pop up and everything like that. But we had to keep it, and that's for me, under 5.
Okay. And so the other one why are we now developing a SPEG, which should have been,
That's not a me question.
Mr. Redondo, can you help with that, please? Why are we just
We're
now?
just
doing
developing it
CPAC?
now.
Why are you developing now? Yep.
I was under the impression that we had parent meetings for a number of years. And I know that CPAG is, I know that you think it's district led. From what I have seen, I believe it is more of a grassroots parent led effort in the community. I think we are going to help facilitate starting it. But one of the things that I think we need to do, Mrs. Henry, is to make sure we have parents that will continue to propagate a CPAG so it doesn't start and have some initial traction and then fizzle out when those parents say their children go on to high school and then they don't have as much concern in the middle school. So I think that may be something that Dr. Martin and the CPAC people are going to talk to parents that are interested in forming this. We're certainly going to assist getting it off the ground, but having a sustainable, which has been done in the past and it kind of petered out. So this is a bit of a reset.
okay, because for.
Dana, can I see if there's anybody else and I'll bring you back
Okay.
up? Thank you. Is there anybody else that'd like to speak? Floor's back
We're
yours
back
for
here.
3 more minutes.
Because from what I read online, CPAG is a special education parent advisory group, is a state mandated, district level, parent driven group charged with providing input to the local school district on system level challenges in special education and related services. So it is state mandated, it is district led. I do understand that maybe it was, let's say, formulated way back before my kids started school. But my understanding or my thought process is every year there should be a new go at it, So my kids have attended school since 2017. This is the first year that I learned what CPEG is. I've had a special education needs student since 2018. This is the first year that I've learned about it. So why is it that now, just because somebody brought it to our attention, that we are making this where it should have been done every single year?
On January 9th, we're going to start all over again. January 9th.
So as a district, we're looking for better ways to improve. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Can I ask
Yeah.
Of Clementon.
We told.
Is it a rumor, true or false, that there was a woman years ago that was running CPEG? And then she had to stop in her own right. And then it didn't get picked up. So it's my understanding from the letter that I've read, that Dina just read from, that it's the district's job to pick up that ball and ask the parents who can continue this. That wasn't done. So was there a SPEG at one point in the township that a mother was running? That's what we've heard. I just want to know.
Your memory, can you recollect that?
This was put in the law 40 years ago.
Hi, good evening. I believe there was a parent, she was, I I thought the initials were SPKN. Hi.
Please help out.
Keisha Jones, I was a teacher at Charles W. Lewis Middle School, worked there for 20 years. So Judy Guido, and many of you probably know that name, but she's still very involved with special education children in the community. And she was in charge of the CPA, at Lewis Middle School. And I know she still does a lot of community things. And I think once Joe, her son, graduated from Highland, I believe, that's when, she stopped leaving it up.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So I can just,
Thank
that's
you.
all I can see. So I
It's-
just remember her name. I still get emails from her, so I know she's still
Right.
does a lot of things.
And
Thank
the
you.
high school district has a CPEC. So why don't the 11 elementary and middle school have a CPEC?
We're in the process of it. Thank you. Any other comments? I see none. We're going to move on to board member comments.
I would like to say something. I'm going to read something, unfortunately. I want to say good evening to the Gloucester Township families and board members. I'm going to try to get through this. Tonight, I speak to you with an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the trust you placed in me during the many years of our shared partnership and for all we've accomplished together for our students, teachers, staff, and families of the great community. Serving on the Gloucester Township Board has been one of my greatest honors. As I step away from the role tonight, I do with a heart full of pride for what we have achieved together. My journey as a board member began years ago with a dream and a bold step with Ellen Reese, as we challenged and defeated longtime incumbents. And our victory was a win for those who believed in grassroots actions to empower the voices of parents who knew that our schools could be better and their children deserved more from us. My first campaign proved that when parents come together with a shared vision, they can do great things to enhance the quality of our schools. As time passed, I became that long-term incumbent. I once set out the challenge, but I never forgot the lessons I learned along the journey. I stayed committed to listening, adapting, learning, and ensuring that the voices of teachers, community members guided my thinking and decision-making. When I first joined the board, I had children in the district, which gave me a personal stake in the quality of our schools. Now, as my children have grown, my public service to this community has only deepened as I try to ensure the same opportunities that helped my children thrive are available for every child in this district. From the moment I was elected, I committed myself to ensuring that our schools were more than just a place where lessons were taught. I wanted them to be vibrant community centers where children could expand their minds and develop their creativity, and where policy could be a powerful tool to foster equity and provide the necessary funding to give children a chance at success. As a certified board leader, master board member, and a legislative committee member of the New Jersey School Boards Association, I work to ensure that our policies, our plans were inclusive and our schools were a place of excellence. I am most proud of my help to pass the full-day kindergarten because education is a foundation of lifelong learning. I'm also proud of expanding sports programs, including cross-country at the middle school, knowing that the students who run toward their goals also can excel in the classroom. I am proud of our technology policies, which place Chromebooks into the hands of all our students, equipping them with the tools they need to succeed in a rapidly changing world. And I'm proud of my participation in investing students' futures while still respecting the hard-earned dollars of Gloucester Township families. Serving as vice president and president of the board gave me a platform to advocate for what I most deeply believe, that public education is the backbone of our democracy. Teachers are its lifeblood. I witnessed firsthand the dedication of our educators and staff. They are unsung heroes who gave so much of themselves every single day. They deserve nothing less than our full support and respect. To my colleagues on the board,
I urge you to carry these values: accountability, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to the township, our children of the township. Uphold the trust the community has placed in you. Listen to the voices of teachers, parents, and students. Always prioritize what's best for the schools, not what's easiest or most convenient for yourself, but what satisfies your political agenda. At the same time, resist the movement seeking to dismantle the foundations of public education. Our schools are safe havens, centers of learning, and places where every child deserves to feel seen and supported. Protect our libraries as gateways to curiosity and knowledge. Advocate for school psychologists and counselors who provide critical emotional support. Ensure that schools remain safe spaces where students can grow, explore, thrive without fear. I want to thank all the support staff, the custodian, the bus drivers, the admin, and all who make GT a great place. You are valued. Tonight I leave knowing that our work has made a difference in brightening the future of Gloucester Township. To our students, never stop dreaming. To our teachers, you matter. And the work you do can be thankless, but it's invaluable. Thank you for the privilege. Thank you for the memories, the lessons, and the friendship that I will carry with me always. Thank you. Sorry, I got emotional. I'm sorry.
Don't you dare ever apologize for your feelings.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to say happy holidays to everybody and thank you, Linda and Anthony, for your guidance during my first year here. I really appreciate it. And you know, I hope that we can stay friends or bonded somehow, but I wish everybody a great holiday season and thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other comments?
All the board members over the past year. Thank you, Mr. Marks, for everything that you've done to help the district over the past year. You've done a great job. I'd like to welcome Dina Hendry to the board. And I'd also like to congratulate the star students and all the sporting awards tonight.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I just want to say, Anthony, it was great working with you. I'm sorry I got emotional. It was great working with everyone. Have a happy holiday, everyone, and you will see me out there in the audience.
We don't have data for 1 second.
Thank you. Any others?
I did, but I don't, it's almost not appropriate after such a beautiful speech there. But I did want to go back to, you know, this group that it's been, you know, a topic of conversation for, you know, quite some time. And I understand that it wasn't in place, but I'm kind of trying to understand, how is something mandated that's not run by the school? If we're saying it's the parents' like fault for not keeping the ball going, how can something like that be mandated? Like, how does that work? Can you explain that?
I don't know if it's the parents' fault per se. I would probably say it administratively, when we know we have 8th grade parents moving on, we have an obligation to kind of cultivate it. And maybe that cultivation is one thing, and you're well intentioned, Mr. Gibbons, but those same parents that want it, and the good thing is there are parents that want it now.
Right. Yeah.
I can't say that in the past there have always been a group of parents that have wanted it, whether it be mandated or not. That's kind of why we want to do a reset now.
Yeah.
That's why Dr. Martin reached out and have someone come in, facilitate it. So if we start it, it has some growth and traction potential, not just fizzle again.
Right. Okay. But it is still the district's responsibility to keep it going to a degree, to do the outreach, that it shouldn't be the first time that people have been hearing it. I understand,
Yes.
you know, we were explained.
Yes, it is.
We asked, no one responded, but.
Yep, we got to keep trying.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Just to clear this, so that everybody's on the same page of how, you know, how we got here, but it's a reset and we're going to start over and move forward and try to keep
And
it
if-
going from there.
If this doesn't work, we're gonna have to start it again.
Yeah, I know I spoke to Mary Ann about, she had reached out to some other schools and some ideas and things like that. So I know there are a lot of ways. I know it is an uphill battle to get it going and keep it going and keep that. Either way, I'm just eating up people's time, but I want to thank everybody for coming out. The athletes, star students, congratulations to them. I believe it was Miss Clark. I want to get with you after this here, and also we'll find out a little bit more about what that was all about. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, Happy New Year. Thank you. Oh, and thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for your service. I will be sad to see you go, Linda. Anthony, same. I don't know you as well as I know Linda, but I will miss you both, and thank you both for your guidance.
Thank you. Any others?
Go ahead.
I wanted to thank Ms. Clark for coming at, that was very well spoken. I appreciate your dedication to the students and all the hard work that you put into that. I wanted to speak on the parent advisory group because a couple, maybe 2 months ago, it was my understanding that the district had a variation of the parent group where Dr. Martin had meetings and sent out questionnaires and things like that. So there was a variation of it going. But I appreciate the parents who are stepping up and trying to make this happen for the kids. I think it's amazing. And you started a bigger conversation. So I appreciate that. I wanted to wow on the kids, the athletes. I cannot believe you guys brought back so many trophies. Amazing. I was a little sad Mullen lost the basketball game tonight, but whatever, I'm not that bitter. I hear you. I watched a little bit of it. Thank you to the board members for your dedication and your service. And then Mrs. Hendry. So you are me over 10 years ago, where I came month after month after month and spoke and fought and begged and just recorded Mr. Bilodeau and uploaded it to YouTube. If anyone wants a link, I'll send it to you. Like, you are me, and I am so completely excited to have you on this side of the table because I think you have some amazing ideas. And I think you will bring quite a dynamic to the board. So congratulations to you. I can't wait to work with you on this side of the table. See how that goes. And happy holidays to everyone. And I think I'm done. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Linda and Anthony for your service, for the years that Linda and Anthony both have given to the children here in Gloucester Township. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Wishing everyone a wonderful holiday. Welcome, Dina. We can't wait to get you over here. And have a happy holiday.
Thank you. Any others?
So I just want to say happy holidays to everyone. I hope you have a joyful holiday season with your family. Stay close. Thank you to Anthony and Linda. I have enjoyed working with both of you. I will definitely miss you. I'm gonna miss you. And I'm gonna miss you too, Anthony. Your guidance, your direction. I am, for real. But thanks everyone to coming out. Congratulations to all the STAR students as well, and have a happy new year.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna close out. Linda forgot to tell me that we needed to write something down.
I have it right, I wouldn't know, it was bad enough.
All right, so I'm a pretty simple man, if you've learned over the past 6 years. First of all, I want to start off by thanking the Gloucester Township family. Till you get up here and you see what the students and staff do for this district, it is amazing. It is not a walk in a classroom and walk out, not at all. You learn a lot of the back doors and all that going on here, and it's a lot for the staff, so I thank you for that. Mr. Bilodeau, I would like to thank you and your whole administration staff for what you do. Keeping the budget in line, keeping the employees in line, keeping the board in line sometimes as well. I thank you for that. Mr. Long, thank you. You put me in line a few times. We had some disagreements, but we always work through our disagreements. I thank you for all the guidance and advice you gave me. To the board, I thank you for the support over 2 opportunities to serve as the president of this board. That is an honor that has allowed me to have up here and show what type of leader I could be. I thank you for that. Moving forward, I just hope that we can keep this board rolling in the right direction. One of my goals 6 years ago was to make a change in the Gloucester Township community. And I felt us as a board, we've done that. Please keep that boat going in the right direction. I'd like to thank everybody for taking time to come out tonight. Everybody, happy holidays. May I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.